Good morning. I hope you're well today. There is a beautiful day ahead. I received a message recently from a guy who it was so perfect because he articulated the same struggle that all of us deal with, both you and I. And when I read this, I saw immediately underneath the surface of what he was describing is truly the best news. The type of news that makes the day more brilliant, that brings colors back into the mind. And what he said was this. He said he's in his mid-20s and he lives with his mom. He's never not lived with his mom. And he wants so bad to go out onto his own and confront the world on his own. But he's buried under debt, credit card and student loan debt. And he had a girlfriend, but her and him broke up a year ago and he's struggling to get over it. He feels alone in this world. He doesn't have, I think he said, very many or any friends. And then he said, each day keeps getting harder and harder. And truthfully, I struggle to keep living. Any advice? And that's really heavy. I could feel the heaviness on my own heart when I read that. And what I would say is I'm not a teacher or an advice giver, but the good news that I would give is that the situation that he is in is what the world intends to happen. As in, he's under debt and the principalities of this world, the corporations, the structures of this world, it is very much their intention to bury you under as much debt as possible. It is the intention of the world to put you in a state of desperation and reliance and make you feel as though you are trapped. And so the way that he feels is not unusual. So it's not unusual, but there's an attitude within this world, an ethos, that has been a pattern that I've seen since I was born, and I was born in 95, my whole life. And it is this hollering into the ears of the individual of radical responsibility. People on the media and now social media, they all try to be motivational and they all try to give you a kick in the A. And they tell you that everything is your fault. And they say, pick yourself up by the bootstraps, take responsibility for your own life. And I don't know if they realize it, but they don't do anything when they say that except to make the problem worse. They make the problem worse because when you seek to ebb in the flow of the world, when you try to earn money and get ahead in life, yet you can't bring yourself to get ahead in life, and you have everybody telling you that it's your fault, then you start to become divided within yourself. You blame yourself, you carry around a bunch of guilt, and it makes everything heavier. It literally makes your own being heavier. And the problem isn't taking responsibility for the problems that the world is attacking you with, but rather changing the burden that you carry. And what I mean by that is there's a verse in the Bible where Jesus is talking to his disciples, and I think it's Matthew 11, 28 through 30. And he says, all who are weary and overburdened, come to me, and I will give your soul rest. Take my yoke upon yourself, and I will teach you my ways. For my heart is humble, my yoke is light, and my burden is easy. And so I think about that verse often because when life gets heavy, when it becomes hard to wake up in the morning, when it becomes hard to make it through a day, I try to remind myself that there has to be, I have to be seeing the world in the wrong way. I have to be, at the core of who I am is wrong, because the burden isn't meant to be heavy. A yoke is a wooden bar that they put on the back of an oxen, and it's so that the ox can carry carts and carry different things. And so it's when Jesus is telling you, he's calling all who are weary and overburdened. It's fascinating because he's, in one sentence, telling them, acknowledging that they are overburdened, but then telling them to take upon themselves a new burden. Literally, put this wooden beam on your back, this yoke on your back, because it is my burden, but my burden is light and my yoke is easy. And so that is how life is supposed to be. That is how reality is supposed to be. We're not supposed to walk through this world with constant heaviness. Jesus literally says, "You are the light of the world and the salt of the earth. Let your light shine for all of the world to see it." And the opposite of light, illumination, is darkness. The opposite of light in terms of levity is heaviness. And so if you're walking around this world with a heaviness on your soul, heaviness on your heart, then you can be free knowing that there's something about life that you're doing wrong. Either in who you are, the way that you're seeing the world, the way that you're treating yourself, and thus the way that you're feeling the division within yourself. And so the lies of motivational people in the media or on social media telling you to, no, keep taking that path, keep taking responsibility and trying to earn more money and trying to get status and worldly desires. If you do that, it's just going to make everything heavier. And it's not meant to be heavy. That's what the world wants you to do, but it's not right. It's not right and just. And so the solution is like in Good Will Hunting. At the end of Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams is talking to Matt Damon, and Robin Williams is like, "It's not your fault." And Matt Damon's like, "Well, I know it's not my fault." And he's like, "No, you don't understand. It's not your fault." And Matt Damon's like, what are you doing? "I know it's not my fault." "No, it's not your fault." And he just keeps telling him that. And then Matt Damon starts weeping, crying, releasing, relinquishing, realizing that it's actually not his fault. Letting go of the heaviness and the pain that he's been carrying. And that is the solution. Yeah, you've got to take responsibility for the things around you and the things that you can control and do your best each and every day. But the world is going to attack you, and if the world attacks you and tyrannizes you and belittles you and makes you feel less than, and then you try to fight against that or try to prove the world wrong, it's just going to make everything heavier. The solution is to put on the yoke of Christ. The solution is to put on the yoke of Christ. And it is not your fault, but it is your problem. And when you become light, I believe that is how you can actually start to solve the problem. And so be light, my friends. Today, enjoy this beautiful day and be light. And that's all that I have. Goodbye.